Before we get into the video, I really wanted to give you guys some context to what actually happened that day. So I was called by a lobster fishing friend of mine saying that there was Atlantic menhaden jumping out of the water, and he's not a fisherman per se. He doesn't go and target striped bass like I target striped bass. And so he, seeing those bunker, as we call them, they go by many names, Atlantic menhaden jump out of the water, I knew that there was going to be a crazy bite going on. So I ripped down there and I see these Atlantic menhaden getting blitzed upon, which is like where the striped bass, which is the fish that I target, are pushing the bait up onto the surface and feeding on them up on the surface of the water. This makes for really epic fishing, and it's something that happens not very often. So when it does, it's a really special, rare thing because the bass are really aggressive. They hit lures that we throw right up on the surface. And for the most part, because the bait is so big, the bass are also very large. So I see a lot of very large fish blitzing, and I ran probably 150 yards across the rocks to catch up with these fish because they're moving pretty fast close to shore. Meanwhile, offshore, for about maybe 3 or 4 square mile section, from what I was hearing from the lobster fishermen, there were fish doing this the entire way out into the ocean, like hundreds of yards out, miles out, blitzing and feeding, and they're huge fish. I even saw some tuna that day flying out of the water. So it was a pretty crazy day of fishing. But I finally get down to where those Atlantic menhaden are getting eaten by the bass, and I cast right in there. I'm working my topwater. I finally hook up into a fish after it getting knocked out of the water and tangled a couple of times. And these boat guys from pretty far away see me hooked into this fish, and they run directly at me. And I see, as I'm fighting this fish, I go out of frame, unfortunately, because it got me around a rock. So I had to go get it out from around the rock and then walk back. But I wasn't moving very far at all from where you guys were seeing in the video. And basically what happened was this boat saw me, ran from catch a fish. They weren't catching any fish. They ran from very far away to where I was at, and then started driving right over the top of where those fish were. And the thing is, when a boat drives over the top of the fish when they're feeding on the Atlantic menhaden, they'll drop down and disperse and go offshore, and it completely kills the bite. And in fishing, that is a big no-no, and I knew that they probably did not know that. So I was trying to be a little bit nice about it, and a lot of people I know who fish around here, if that happened to them, they would have not been as nice as I was. But that's a little context to what was actually going on that day, because it was a pretty crazy bite, and I was really pissed because what happened was they scared the fish away, and what could have been a really epic morning turned out to be a nice morning with one nice fish, but then I had to battle these guys, and they kept going right back and forth in front of me, which is just such a bad move. So enjoy the video, and I hope you guys get some entertainment out of my pain of dealing with this.
right up there and catch them. They're all 50-pound-plus fish up there. And you got 4 in front of me that I should fish.
Don't worry about it. Worry about you.
Do you have to be?
Worry about you.
How bad is it?
Worry about you.